FPJ's Batang Quiapo continues to enthrall audiences with its raw depiction of Manila's underbelly, but no episode has been as gripping as the now viral Kargamento. A tour de force in storytelling, action, and character evolution, this installment cemented the series' status as a Filipino primetime juggernaut. The Kargamento episode doesn't just move the story forward, it shoves it with full force. Tanggol, played with magnetic intensity by Coco Martin, is now beyond a street-smart survivor. He's a fully awakened player in a city that rewards cruelty and cunning. His transformation is front and center as the episode opens with an ominous foreshadowing of betrayal and bloodshed. In the dead of night, the tension is palpable. The eerie silence of the back alleys contrasts sharply with the chaos that's about to unfold. We see a series of tightly choreographed shots, crates being moved, whispers exchanged in the shadows, and men readying their weapons. The Kargamento isn't just smuggled goods, it's a symbol of how far the city's rot has reached. Tanggol knows he's in too deep, yet he doesn't flinch. The old hesitations are gone. The scene where he faces off with a group of armed smugglers highlights not only his combat skills but also the leadership qualities he's developed. No longer a pawn, he's becoming a king in his own right. But with every rise, there's a price. The episode delves deep into the moral consequences of Tanggol's choices. As he watches the cargo being unloaded, boxes of illegal firearms, narcotics, and even trafficked people, his eyes betray a flicker of conflict. He's gaining power, but at what cost to his soul? Supporting characters also shine in Kargamento. Lara's subtle but significant role shows how the women in the series aren't just side characters, they're forces in their own right. Her confrontation with her father, a crooked police official, is a masterclass in emotional intensity. She wants justice, but is torn between blood and righteousness. Then there's Ramon, a character whose quiet menace has made him a fan favorite. His scenes are few but loaded with meaning. One particularly chilling moment comes when he threatens a subordinate with just a stare and a whispered reminder of past transgressions. Ramon represents the old guard, the corrupt elite who manipulate the underworld with impunity. The cinematography in this episode is nothing short of cinematic. Gritty close-ups, clever lighting, and haunting drone shots of the Manila docks turn familiar locales into war zones. The mood is claustrophobic, deliberate, intense. Director Malu Sevilla deserves commendation for keeping the tension tight throughout the episode. There's barely a moment to breathe. Each cut, each frame feels calculated. Every dialogue, whether shouted in the heat of gunfire or whispered in a backroom negotiation, carries weight. Music also plays a crucial role in elevating the episode. The haunting score swells as Tanggol walks through the crates, emphasizing the gravity of his descent. It's no longer just about revenge or survival, it's about legacy, control, and the unrelenting hunger for respect. One of the most powerful scenes features Tanggol sitting in silence after a shootout, blood on his hands, both literal and figurative. The look on his face says it all. He has passed a point of no return. What makes the performance resonate is Coco Martin's restraint. He doesn't oversell the emotion. It simmers beneath the surface. The action scenes in Kargamento are some of the best the series has produced. Fast, brutal, and devoid of glamour, they reflect the unforgiving nature of the world Tanggol now inhabits. Every punch, gunshot, and chase feels earned, raw, and dangerous. Yet amid the chaos, the series never loses its emotional core. A flashback to Tanggol's younger days reminds viewers of the boy who once believed in heroes. It's a heartbreaking contrast to the man he's become, a man who now makes the kind of choices he once feared. Morality in Batang Quiapo is never black and white, and this episode embraces that complexity. There are no purely good or evil characters, just people surviving, making the best of a broken system. Kargamento also reflects real-world issues. The smuggling of goods and people is not fiction, it's a shadow economy that thrives in the cracks of law enforcement. The show doesn't shy away from these truths, and that's what gives it weight. Audience reactions to this episode have been explosive. Social media erupted with praise, theories, and emotional responses. Memes, fan edits, and analysis videos flooded timelines, with many calling it the most intense episode yet. The performances, writing, and pacing come together to create not just an episode, but a milestone in the show's arc. It's clear the writers are not afraid to take risks, to push characters to uncomfortable places. That's what makes Batang Quiapo stand out. In one gripping moment, a secondary character, previously seen as comic relief, dies in an unexpected ambush. The loss is jarring, a reminder that in this world, no one is safe. It jolts both the characters and the audience into realizing the stakes. The episode's final scene leaves viewers on edge. Tanggol receives a cryptic message that hints at a traitor in his camp. His eyes narrow, and the screen fades to black. The silence is deafening. The war has only just begun. Kargamento isn't just an episode, it's a statement. It tells us that Batang Quiapo is more than action, it's a deep exploration of identity, power, and consequence. It's storytelling that respects its audience enough to not offer easy answers. There's a poetic tragedy to Tanggol's rise. He gains control but loses fragments of himself along the way. Each victory feels hollow, each step forward feels like a stumble towards something darker. And yet, we root for him. Because in Tanggol, we see ourselves, flawed, desperate, hopeful. We see someone trying to make sense of a world that seems determined to break him. The script doesn't spoon-feed moral lessons. Instead, it challenges the viewer to confront difficult truths. How much compromise is too much? When does survival become surrender? There's a scene where an old street vendor warns Tanggol, power is a curse if you forget who you are. It's brief, almost throwaway, but it lingers. In a show filled with gunfights and backroom deals, it's the quiet wisdom that often cuts deepest. Kargamento sets the tone for what's to come. The game is changing, allies will become enemies, secrets will unravel, and Tanggol must navigate it all, alone in many ways, even when surrounded by loyal faces. The production values continue to impress. Costuming, makeup, and set design immerse the audience fully into Quiapo's visceral chaos. From sweat-stained shirts to the flickering neon lights of backroom gambling dens, every detail enriches the world. This episode also introduces a new faction, the Sons of Askel, ruthless players in the criminal landscape. Their leader, enigmatic and cold, is clearly set to be a formidable adversary. There's a hint of romance, but it's never the focus. The series understands that in a world where survival is paramount, love is often fleeting, complicated, or weaponized. What makes Kargamento special is that it doesn't need explosions or melodrama to hit hard. Its power comes from its unrelenting honesty. This is not just a gangster drama, it's a mirror held up to society's cracks. We see Tanggol's mother, watching the news with tears in her eyes. She doesn't know the whole truth, but she knows enough. The pain of a mother watching her son slip away is universal and devastating. Even the villains are given depth. One antagonist, after orchestrating a brutal attack, is shown praying in a candlelit chapel. It's these contradictions that make the world feel so heartbreakingly real. Dialogue in Kargamento is razor sharp. Every line drips with subtext, every silence speaks louder than words. Characters say little, but mean everything. The writers have mastered the art of escalation. Each episode builds naturally, without feeling rushed or artificial. Stakes increase, characters evolve, and viewers are rewarded with genuine payoff. In closing, the Kargamento episode is a masterstroke, layered, intense, and unforgettable. It's not just trending because it shocked, it's trending because it resonated. Because in Tanggol's journey, we see a nation's cry, a city's truth, and a man's reckoning. FPJ's Batang Quiapo has once again raised the bar, not just for local television, but for what it means to tell a story with heart, grit, and fearlessness. And if Kargamento is any indication, we haven't seen anything yet.